Hello, welcome to Ashley Lancelot Show. We're using Owlbear for DND miniatures. I'm using black primer to prime over the owl. Just to let you know, giving it a darker coat for a darker. Because this character is going to be a barn owl style type of thing I use for on Google. So it has a darker feather and fur for the bear as well. So you're using the black primer instead of the already primer light one that's already on it as well. But you can use any other one that you want. If you want a lighter owl color, you want to use a white or the green that's already on there. Or a darker one, you want a darker gray or black as well. Also, check out our channel on Ashley and Lancelot Show. 1,000 subs, we're going to give away a Diablo Eternal Edition for Nintendo Switch. Ashley Art Fantasy, we are giving away that we're not giving away. We go on our Patreon. We're going to be doing our monthly Patreon for next month. It will be Cloud Strife. We also are doing a lot more stuff as well. We're collaborating with Dark Ten Enterprise, so you see this video on their channel and our channel as well. Please check out the link down below. And for owl bears, it's basically an owl and a bear fused by a mad wizard in Dungeons and Dragons Advanced Edition. On the 5th edition, the owl bear that they had was all purple. So if you want a purple owl bear, it's a good reference to start as well. But for me, I'm using basically a grizzly slash an owl barn, or a barn owl, to do my painting for this as well. So you want to get every nook and cranny. Don't worry if you miss a couple spots because it's already primed for this particular one. This miniature went around $5 at the local gaming store that I go to. But other than that, this is not a type of miniature I do like to paint because they're all infused in one. I like to actually have parts disassembled so I can paint each of them individually and make a better detailing on it as well. But this is actually a huge size miniature, so it is very easy to go around. Except for that nook and cranny I gotta do around the feathers and priming everything as well. But all in all, this will be a good monster to play in your campaign if you have a little 4 or 5 characters, or a multiple of a group of 2 to level 3 characters. You can do it in Owlbear, but it can be a little bit challenging for them because Owlbear aren't cutting; they're actually vicious, but they're very smart. But other than that, it's one of those things that you gotta pick. We're using ruddy leather from MSP Paint. We will use it to coat all the feathers and the fur on the owl bear because you want to start with dark colors that work your way to light for the highlights and shadowing. So you can probably use 1 or 2 coats of rotor leather, but I would just use 1 coat because you already have black primer on it. So the color of the rotor leather will look a lot darker than it's supposed to be as well. And again, you don't have to get every nook and cranny in like I am doing because you're also going to mix several highlights and shadow over it anyways. So give it a nice effect towards when you covering it all up. But the base, a reason why I primed the base is that I am going to be coloring that base to a different color. I'm using a terrain things I have from Michaels. That'll be another video. Other than that, it'll be dark brown. Then we're going to work with a lighter brown. Then we'll do the white. Then do the brown again on top of that. You'll see it in probably part 1 or part 2. Well, let me know down in the comments below what's your favorite monster to paint for miniatures. And if you want me to paint a specific type of miniature, let me know. Or send me the miniatures. And I'll be very happy to paint it for you. I do charge for painting. And I pretty much will thinking about selling painted miniatures. If you guys are interested in buying painted miniatures, let me know down in the comments below. And I'll work with Vira on the details for that as well. I've been painting for over 16 years. So I'm not the best miniature painter, but I know what brush to use for this. This one I use a little bit bigger brush. Not coarse, but soft, because I want to try to get every nook and cranny as possible. Let me know how this is helpful for you in any other way as well. We are using the yellow. It is called Palomino Gold. You can use any kind of golden type or yellow eye, depending what kind of eye color you want your owls to be. This one I use because our barn owl has very golden yellow eyes. Don't worry if you're going over the eye area, because you're going to go over with the last brown paint on top of that. And you can see my little army miniatures in the background as well. You want to color the beak and everything as well. For that, just, don't worry about it. You can always fix that mistake very easily. You're going to be doing a second coat for that. This is going to be a little bit of the touch up from the rudder leather for the yellow paint. Little gold paint I went over it. All these are MSP paint. I believe there is only one paint I use from Citadel. That is really up to you as well. But you want to put a little bit more towards the face, because give that a little more detail. You can see the difference between one coat and also the first coat as well. And I believe that I am actually this one is just basically highlight. I am basically highlighting it, not putting too much. I just little tap it on the feathers and also the fur, just to give it that that more of a detailed look when I put over the other colors for it as well. This will help because there's feathers. Not all feathers are the same colors. Not all fur are the same colors. So just giving that little ruggish looking style to come. We are basically, my fingers in the wet. Putting white paint in. This paint is called Pure White from MSP. Putting the details around the eyes, the talons, and also the body of it as well. I am very sorry that if you don't see it that well. I've been fiddling around with the clamp and everything as well, but this would probably be a better look for it. You can put how much white you want on it. Like I said, just Google an owl to see how you want your owl to look like. Give it that much of a detail for it. This is the bottom feathers for the owl. If you want to show more of the brown, put very little white. I put a lot of white because I want actually the full bottom of it white. Now I'm going to put a little black wash on the bottom so that I can actually show that how dirty it is, because these owlbear do not fly. They actually are on ground all times. Unless you cast fly on it, or you drink a potion of flying. But other than that, yes. They're very heavy bear. They're very heavy magical creatures. See that, give that just a little touch, a little more of those, make a big little oval down to the tip, so they give that a little more of a detailed look, the more sombrish as well. If you look at the side, you can actually, how the lighting is, you can see a little bit of brown from that towards the belly of it, and I'm also painting the tips of the feathers as well by the arms. If my hands hasn't been not moving it around, I promise you the next video will be a lot better. This one I just put a little, I didn't cover it, I just little highlighted it so that it'll look just like that. This is basically like highlight. For this, don't want to put too much on it. Remember, you also work with different type of feathers. This owlbear doesn't really have much fur. So the majority of them are feathers. And painting the talons. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed part 1 of the owlbear painting, and we'll be finishing off with the part 2. And thank you guys for watching.